Alright, hello everybody, Sendrith here, and I've got an idea that I hope can turn into some very useful information for soloing clerics that maybe had not considered this as an option. Here I am in the Plane of Mischief, and I'm at Peachy, one of the common spots for people to bind, because it's just past this walkway here, which has a dispel on it, which will blow a few of your buffs off. So you can avoid that. And what I'm planning to do today is go back to the rat maze, where you might have seen me in some prior videos duoing with my friend Seluzia, or even with my older friend Zem, who for the most part no longer plays. Um, One of the struggles clerics have is finding soloing after about level 56. Um, Need a TL. Hold on, let me reply to this guy here. Oh, by the way, you will also notice that everything is much smaller on my screen. I got a new computer, and what I'm hoping is we're going to have much higher quality resolution, higher, definitely higher frames per second on my recordings, and my favorite part, I get a much wider area of vision as all my windows are smaller playing at this higher resolution. New computer's got a nice big screen, so it's beautiful. I'm loving it so far, and the frame rate feels super smooth. This guy just offered to teleport me, and I'm very grateful because I have been here logged on a few times in the past, been unable to find a port out. I was completely full on inventory, and I was dying to get out. I had a bunch of plat too, but my friend recently ported me out, and I just gated back. Bought a few extra paradots, all that I could find in Rivervale, and I'm good to go. Anyway, back to the purpose of this video. I think I might have found the best solo spot after 56, and it is in the rat maze. It is a little bit difficult because there are pathers, but when I was talking with Seluzia about this, she said that she's found parts of the maze that don't have pathers. I'm going to try to find such a part of the maze, do a little scouting, check out the rats, see where they're not pathing. I'm going to make sure that I'm targeting one of the lower level rats so that I have a higher chance of taking it down, and I'm going to try to do that. Now, the reason I think this might be a great spot for clerics to solo is first off, they're blue, I believe, until 60. These mobs are blue. Their HP is a little over 6k, which I think is doable. I believe I took out a rat at level 54, but here I am at 57. I should be able to handle it, no problem, as long as I don't get ads. I've tried this before, and I was really, really close on taking out a rat. What happened was I got an ad, so I was having to root that ad as well. And in addition to that, I had some resists. So I also hadn't been careful about, the level of the rat that I was taking out. So this time, I'm going to start by finding a part of the rat maze where there are no pathers, or for some other reason I feel pretty confident in getting a single mob. And I'm going to find in that area one of the lower level rats, and we're going to try killing it solo here. Now, up to 56, I think probably one of the best places for a cleric to be is lower guk. The sentinel camp, those mobs are blue at 56, and I haven't checked it at 57. They could be green at 57. If they are blue, those dark gold knights might still be the way to go. That's a beautiful AFK dad camp. You do have to do a little pacification, a little pacifying to split the 3 spawn, but especially at a higher level like 55, 56, 57, that should be pretty much no problem as long as you have somewhat decent charisma. My charisma's not great, 130, but it's been more than good enough for things like that with such a level gap. And I plan on getting myself a Kobold Jester crown. Right now I'm using a Crystal Chitin circlet. And the way I see it is I can deal without the extra 3 strength and 3 wisdom. I'm already above the wisdom cap where the returns on wisdom points are halved. Strength is not a huge factor for me. So I will be happy to replace this Crystal Chitin circlet with a Kobold Jester crown, which will give me 30 more charisma. But anyway, this camp is great because It's a non-KoS, so it's a perfect AFK dad camp. When you're medding, you can just sit and go AFK and med. Also, the Zem in this zone is great. I am not going to project it for you guys. I apologize. Honestly, I'm just lazy and I don't trust myself. Whenever I try to show a browser window, half the time I end up forgetting to turn it off on my recording software. And then I finish making a long video and I look back and I found out you were looking at my browser the whole time, listening to me blab on. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to quickly look up Plane of Mischief P99 just so I can share with you the Zem that we're dealing with here. And also so I can look up the rats we're dealing with. Okay, so we got a Zem of 140%. Now that's great. So if you can kill blue mobs at 140%, you're doing great. So anyway, to get to the rat maze, easiest way, straight from Peachy, keep going, and there's a trap right here that will take us on down in here. Now, I've got to do some scouting. I've got an NParse map I'm looking at, which I highly recommend because this maze, it really lives up to the title of maze. Here we have a lost gnome. They are annoying when you're trying to solo because they will social to help the rats. Looks like there's another lost gnome here. Excuse me for going first person. I just find it much easier to navigate the tunnels here. Now, I'm not as familiar with this rat maze as my friend. Oh, yes. I think this guy's a merchant. Yes, he is. What's he sell? No, usually there's like two of them. A jovial white knight does not sell paradots. I've been keeping an eye out for paradots. I was able to find 13 paradots randomly in Rivervale, but there is no like dedicated paradot vendor in that zone. And once I got those 13, it put me in at about 30, and I thought that's enough for now. I was hoping to get a good few stacks, just so I wouldn't have to worry about it for a while, but I thought I'd be able to do that in Rivervale, and I guess I was mistaken. So it looks like someone might be clearing out this rat maze. So I might have to pause and finish this recording at a later time, because according to the map, I should already be seeing some rat spawns. The NParse map conveniently flags them for you. But I am not seeing... Well, here's a Ratman Rager and a Rat Lane. So this is definitely not where we're going to be soloing. We got mobs that are too close together, and I think I just saw a patrol go around the corner. Or Terror Lane. I think the Rat Lanes are the lowest. Maybe the Rat Finks. Let's take a quick look, though. And let's see where this patrol goes here. So obviously, if someone is doing the rat maze, chances are you're going to be SOL because they tend to leave alone the parts of the rat maze where there are patrols, where social aggro is going to be a big issue. So the reason I think that these mobs right now are up and available for me is because it is definitely not safe to solo here. And we're talking about shamans who are much more capable of handling themselves solo than I. However, I am tempted with this little cubby here. Let's sit here for a second. Let's look up the level of a ratling. Let's see how much HP it's got. And let's see what patrols we might be dealing with. See, there's a patrol that walks right there. I think we would aggro that if it were to come near. But we can time it. Let's see. Right now, it's 10:17 p.m. for me. So he comes by and comes back again pretty quick. Let's see how long after he goes around this corner. All right, let me just start a timer, even though it's going to be late a little bit. It'll give us a ballpark. Stopwatch, go. Okay. Meanwhile, hopefully I don't miss it while I'm checking out my browser. Let's check out this rat lane. I'm looking at the Plane of Mischief P99 site. Is it a rat lane? It is a rat lane. Okay, let's see. I'm not seeing it. Control find rat. A rat lane is a level 46. Yes, this is one of the lower levels. Rat finks are 48. Rat lanes are 46. We're looking at 6k HP. And I'm thinking if I pull him into this cubby, I should be able to avoid social aggro from our patrols. So this might be the way to go. just for the sake of this video. Got the lowest level mob, static spawn here, one patrol. Okay, let's see, that was pretty much a minute and 5 or 10 seconds. Okay, so as long as we can keep the battle in here, we should be good. Now, I switched out to a root. I've got Divine Barrier up, I've got Gate. What else? Well, I suppose I don't need Stun Command. I'm all spelled out for duoing. So let me pause this video while I get ready to give this rat a try. Alright. So once this Terraline paths back Pi here, I am just going to give this a shot. There's not much that I'm scared of. I can always gate and camp. And I'm pretty sure now, after watching a few rounds, that I'm going to be okay. As long as I can keep the fight over here, I should be able to keep it to a single mob. So let's get this started right now. Here we go. Starting with a Reckoning. Got full mana. Boom. Alright, he is angry. Let's root him over here. There we go. Now I've got to keep myself close to the wall here. We took him down to 88% with that first nuke. And we're at 86% mana. There, now we've evened out. Root is holding so far. I'm gonna wait for another mana tick. This will help me before I stand up and cast Reckoning to help me stay ahead on the mana game. There we go. 67 to 69. We're ahead by 2% now. Sendrith's not the beefiest cleric in the world. So, I'm sure plenty of people have a better mana pool than I, which would make this a lot less stressful. Oh, look at that. Okay. Well, luckily I was able to pull off the nuke. Now we're really hoping that we don't have to heal. But, oh, this is not looking good so far. Let's try to stun him. There we go. Now I probably should heal. That's gonna set me back a little bit. I'm gonna toss a Celestial Heal myself, and of course a Fizzle, and another Fizzle. Double Fizzles. Now where are we at? It's hard to say. Let's see. He's at 53, we're at 40. It is not looking good. We're probably gonna have to gate out. So as you can see, it's a little bit nail-biting. A better mana pool would make it much more viable. I should probably bail at this point. I had 2 or 3 fizzles on that attempt to Celestial Heal. We had Root resists. Here's Root wearing off again, when it probably shouldn't. But I don't know, I'm wondering if we can catch up. You know? I don't want to go completely out of mana. I want to have enough mana to gate. I've got one more nuke in me. It's going to take 2 more to finish him off. I don't want to hit him yet. I'm going to keep him at 21% HP so that he will attack me and not run, because they do run. And I'm going to met up as much as I can. So Sendra's total mana is 2,571, and I think a lot of other clerics, when they get to about the point that I'm at, are going to have much better than that. So keep that in mind. Let's hit him again. That means he will be ready to run. We've got to be careful with Root. Oh, apparently he doesn't want to run. That nuke broke Root, and he's coming after me. And he's hitting me hard. And interrupting my Root casts. Like a boss. Okay, he's at 10%. We need another 90 mana to cast. hopefully what will hopefully be the last nuke. I think the first nuke did 12%. He's at 10% HP. We're getting very close. We're at 259 right now. I suppose we could cast it. Yes, we can. And of course, in true EverQuest fashion, we get a fizzle. Okay, let's try again. Here we go. Hoping that root holds. He's still at 10%. This should do it. There we go. Now, I am completely out of mana, but I just killed a level 46 with 140% Zem. And now I can sit here without any worry about getting attacked at all. All these mobs do not care about me. They are non-KoS and they have no faction. So they regard me indifferently and they always will. So that's the beauty of this particular spot. It's a nice AFK dad camp and it's got one of the best Zems in the game. The problem is getting here. That's definitely the thing. It's a pain to get here. The problem also is it is a bit of a challenge, but I like that at this point with the cleric because you're going to be spending a lot of time AFK medding anyway. You might as well get best bang for your buck with each instance of combat and then just take a longer med break. If I were killing mobs that only took, let's say, 65 or 70% of my mana, I would be having shorter AFK breaks in between in which to do other things, and I would be getting less experience per mob. Okay. There might be undead that are of a similar level that would we could kill more mana efficiently. But the way I see it is if you can kill it, you can kill it. You're gonna AFK med anyway. So what's it really matter if you use an extra 10% mana as long as you can pull it off. Combine it with the fact that this zone has one of the best Zems in the game, so you're getting that extra XP boost. It is a non-KoS AFK camp. And probably the biggest thing of all is that I don't really know too many places where you can have an AFK camp and kill level 46 mobs that are undead or that are for some reason better than this. I'm thinking undead would be what most clerics would prefer, but I found myself topping out, and I think a lot of other clerics find themselves topping out at around level 56, having difficulty finding anywhere to solo. And of course, the solo grind is slow, even if you're here, even if you're in a better spot than here. But that I mean, like most clerics I hear are ending up having to solo greens. Now, I think that would be horrible. And they're soloing greens in areas that are not safe to AFK. I mean, that's for me, safe AFK camp, huge. That's why I love the Sentinel camp. You've got a safe hall right outside the Sentinel spawns. Completely safe AFK. You have to spend so much time medding, you don't want to spend that time staring at your character, making sure that nothing's attacking you. Safe AFK camp. Huge Zem. I love it. Also, plenty of opportunity to make money with reses here. Because the zone is so hard to get to, once you are here, you might be one of the few clerics that are. Mostly you're going to see druids and shamans and enchanters here soloing. Very few clerics, unless, like me, they come here with the idea of duoing. So you might log on and you might send out a post. Let me try it right now. Anyone need a res? I don't think so. Because when I first logged on, I saw a cleric with an epic sitting at Peachy. You might have seen that at the beginning of the video, but last time I did that, literally the last time I was on, I got a tell right away. Someone said, "Yes, I'm hopping on my other character. Send you a tell in a minute." Now that person ended up not tipping me, but that's okay. I guess, I would tip personally, but you know, I'm fine with that, sort of. They were in Riot, and I have friends in Riot, so I was like, okay. Maybe because they're in riot, that's why they expect that kind of treatment. Because I know it's not normal to get a res from a stranger and not even offer a tip. Here we can see, was that a shaman? Soloing around here. All right, guys. Let me get a nice shot here. I hope you like this, and I highly recommend this spot. I really think it's great. Come give it a try sometime. I think it might be the best solo cleric spot, 56, 57 plus. You might even be able to pull it off earlier if you got the mana pool. Resist might be a bit of a problem, but maybe not. 54, these mobs are 46, probably no problem with resist. Alright guys, catch you next time.